After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast. This is It's been a long time. It feels like it's been a long time.
Today is
Wednesday, January 8th, 2025, as we are recording. This is episode 613. We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. And I know
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I know it's all garbled, but it seems like it's been more than a month.
Well, I think the holidays made it seem longer. Mm-hmm. And then the fact that we're dealing with a new setup is different. I hope that you find that the quality of the video is a bit better. It suddenly occurred to me that the way I do my BookTube one will work actually really well for the podcast here. We're working off of my iPhone. The reason you might see a little bit of the beginning where we're trying to figure out if we're on because I'm using a fob to turn on the camera, but the screen is a lot bigger than we're used to, so we can actually see ourselves. Actually, I am going to switch over to my darker glasses. We have
ring lights on,
but I know before we had issues with it because it would reflect off my glasses, but that's because we had it right behind the camera. We've got them spread out a bit more now. So
I think I remember what I said. I was going to say, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
Yes.
This is Ty, also known as Francis Gypsy.
Did we introduce ourselves? I don't remember.
Well, we have now.
Yeah.
And I'll have to... I think I have brain fog right now.
Yeah, we've had weather. It makes sense that you have brain fog right now. Yeah, that's a lot better with the darker glasses. You'll probably be seeing me with the darker glasses for this just because it'll be easier. But, I was wearing only darker glasses before. It's only been recently that I've had the two different kinds. And if it means that we get better quality of picture, and I just think I'm going to adjust this a little bit. So, there we go.
We do our names first, and then we do the podcast, and then we do the episode, and then we do the tea and all that stuff.
Yes. So.
Yep. It's been a while.
Yes, it has been a while. Even though, like I said, I think if either one of us said, I can't remember who said it, that I think it feels longer than it's actually been. It's been the same month.
It just feels longer. There's so much going on.
Yeah, holidays really makes things seem longer. And we did have a Zoom in between and everything. Mm-hmm. It's just that, yeah.
That didn't require a identifier.
Yeah.
But how many projects do you have?
Let me check my notes. Now, I don't count my journaling when I do my count. So, oopsie, that's not my notes. I have 3, I believe. 1, 2, 3, yeah.
I have 4 or 5. I'm not sure if I worked on the other one or not.
Okay, so regardless, though, you're first.
Yeah, okay, so this is one of my Adagio Advent mugs. I think it was 2022 or 2023. This pretty mug. And in it I have, a friend of mine made me a bunch of teas. She asked people if they wanted teas made. She made several for me because I had some issues going on at the time. And this one is called Marlisha's German Tea because you guys have heard me, if you've been on this podcast with us for any length of time, I've talked about the Germany tea and how...
Basically, it's any tea that's strong hibiscus, she'll think it's a Germany tea.
And she put an owl on it for me. Look, I can see that. You can see that.
Isn't that nice? Okay.
And it's kind of a purple color. I don't think you can see the tea inside my cup without me spilling it.
Mom, you can... Yeah, they can see it. Isn't this cool?
So it's really a nice tea. I had my mouth set for something chocolate, but I'm trying to go through my stash. I'm kind of glad I went ahead. So now I can rate this for her. Mm-hmm. It's very, very good. She's very talented. She's a chef among other things, and
okay. Well, yeah.
And so she
actually does possibly have an idea of what flavors would go better together.
And she used to have a fandom on the Adagio where it was for tied to the Tea Chef part of Adagio. But now that she doesn't put her recipes so much there, she's changed the fandom to something else and gives the link to that place. So, but she uses tea in a lot of her recipes, at least on her site. So that's kind of cool. But this one, I don't know if she uses it for anything. She just made it for me. So
Right.
And by make it, I mean that she puts together the blends and then Adagio adds a little bit here and there. Yeah.
Right. They even out, like if people choose like weird flavors to go together, they try to make it work. Because sometimes people just don't really know what'll go together. You're dealing.
I keep thinking of this tea is cursed, where apparently the blend, and it was meant to be that. It was meant to be something that just see how many things she could put in that would just be horrible. But there are some people who like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I guess there always will be. But what about yours?
I was just turning off the fob so it stopped blinking. So I'm drinking. Oh, what is this? I know it's a breakfast tea. Colonial breakfast or something like that.
Got, yeah.
Yeah.
You just opened.
So I think that's what this is. And it's just a typical black tea. And I'm not going to tilt it more than that.
Or yours is pretty full. Might spill.
Yeah. And I am using my old-fashioned sleigh rides mug.
My mug like that is up on a shelf.
And yours doesn't say sleigh rides. Yours
Mine's a truck.
Yeah, because you actually... I was so delighted when you chose that one because I was like, oh, she's going to choose the sleigh ride one. But it's like, I'll let her choose. I'll be okay with the other one. And you chose the one that I didn't want, which was amazing.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, because I think you said it made you think of like...
Toy Story and... Not Toy Story.
Christmas
Story.
Yeah, Christmas Story. Whereas I was like, oh, sleigh ride. This is so cool.
But, yeah. Okay.
Because you're well, you go through the longs.
Yeah, for the alongs, before we go too far, we want to go ahead and do the prizes. I made a command decision. I did pull for prizes. I'm not going to show you what they are.
You'll be surprised.
You're going to be surprised. Okay, so you just tell me when I call your name out and all that, and you give me your contact information. Just tell me what alongs you won for.
Yeah,
and you'll get something. But I was too lazy to pull out prizes, so you can get surprises. I've done this before where I just kind of... Sometimes it's easier because I think one time I sent out a couple where I mixed them up. Thankfully, they both got similar prizes. But
right.
I felt bad about that. So let's see who... For the toy along, we had 3 prizes for the... No, not for the toy along. I'm sorry, wait a minute. For the Anything Goes one, that's the one we had 3 prizes for. Because we have an end of year and we have... the 4th quarter.
It's so weird that it's 2025. I think that's the other thing that kind of makes it feel longer is that it's now 2025.
Yeah. Okay. For the toy, for the I keep saying it. For the Anything Goes, we have Jodidiah. So Jody, you won one of the prizes for the Anything Goes, and Rena, you won the other for the quarter there for the Anything Goes. And I Know Who You Are won the end of year prize for the Anything Goes. I need you 3 ladies to please give me your name, your address, and what you won, which is the Anything Goes along. You won a prize. And I will send you something. Okay, something will come to you. All right. But I need to have your name and your address and what along you won for. Okay. Now the toy along. Jody. You did win, but it was for the toy along.
Okay, well, okay. Who was the other?
It's Rena and Steph.
And I Know Who You Are.
And I Know Who You Are. Okay. Let me clarify this for you guys again. Forget everything else I just said. In terms of I'm using a smaller Kindle, and it's really hard for me to keep track because I can't see the whole thing. In fact, I'm going to use the paper for this.
Yeah, you had the paper printed out. Why aren't you using that?
Let me use it because I want to use the paper. All right, let me see here. Okay,
rather than just waste the paper, you might as well use it.
Okay. Anything Goes winners. Quarter 4, Rena and Steph. Okay? Rena and Steph, Anything Goes. Also, I Know Who You Are. You did win the
big prize.
Not big prize,
but the end of the year.
The end of the year, okay? So Anything Goes Mal winners are Rena, Steph, and I Know Who You Are. name, address, and what you won, which is that is for the anything goes. You'll get something. For the toy along, that's Jody and Rena. Okay, Jody and Rena. So I need your information that you won a prize for the toy along. Okay. Let's see here. And then out with the old. I should check to make sure this is. Okay, out with the old is I Know Who You Are and Rena. Okay, so well, congratulations to the winners.
Basically, Rena, if you just say all
of the above, Rena. And I Know Who You Are, you've got 2 of them. And Jody and Steph, you each have 1. And the more you enter, the more you have a chance to win. So we're very excited at all the people who did enter. And we're excited that you know, of all the participation. It was fun to see this stuff. I wasn't in as much as I wanted to be. Things got a little busy toward the end of the
holidays
year.
were in.
But I did see a fair amount of the stuff. And it's all really pretty. And some of the toys were adorable. All of the toys were adorable. So thank you for taking part. And congratulations to the winners. Please contact me, not Talia, contact me with your name, address, and the fact that you won for various alongs. And I will get you the prizes out that are supposed to get to you. They will be a surprise to you. They could be a surprise to me. Just pull stuff out of our prize bin and send it to you. Now, the newest alongs, it looks like they're going well. The first one was, I think it was Sensidai who suggested this. I think it was Sensidai. She gave us several, whoever that person was, either Sensidai or I Know Who You Are. I think it was Sensidai. She gave us several suggestions for the year long, and we chose the ABC or alphabet make along. And this is pretty simple. All the rules are in the thread, and basically we have divided the quarters into, or the letters into quarters. So A through F is quarter 1. Quarter 2 is G through L. Quarter 3 is M through R. And quarter 4 is S through Z. Okay. I'm trying to think of something. If you have a full quarter to finish these things, so it'd be really, to avoid confusion, it'd be really nice if you could kind of finish it or not put it back into the thread until afterward. You know what I'm saying? If you have a teddy bear for T, oh, that's a bad choice. You have an apple for A, and then you go all the way through the first quarter, and now the next quarter is G through something. A doesn't work anymore.
Right.
So maybe we'll just let the fact go that you can't start anything.
Yeah, maybe that's because otherwise it'd be really confusing.
Well, they have 3 months to finish the project.
Yeah.
But it'd be just like a normal long.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be better if we just say, okay, you start the projects that you start in quarter 1 are A through F. If you don't finish that project, you can finish it in the other quarters.
Okay, that works.
You just cannot start a project A through F if it's quarter G through L or quarter M through R or whatever. Okay, so if it's confusing,
let us know.
Okay?
Because this is a new idea. Do you then start a different thread for each?
No, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially since we're going to have an end-of-year prize for this.
Yeah.
It's a year long.
Yeah, because usually we don't do something as a main year long where we break it into quarters, which is a little bit more confusing than we normally do. I hadn't really thought that part through.
I hadn't either. So what we're going to do is you can, in any given quarter, the projects you start must start with one of the letters in that quarter. You can finish.
I guess you just say started.
Yeah. If you put start date, blah, blah, blah. And then we can say, okay, and that way we know when it started. So you don't, put an apple in and start it in quarter 4, which is S through Z.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's all in threads except for what we're talking about. Carry over. And if you have any questions, you can contact me or contact
because this one actually is going to be a little bit more challenging than we thought it would be because we didn't really think through the.
No, I don't think it'll be challenging as long as I can make it clear. That we're just going to be. It's kind of like when you do finishing all the projects, where you can't. You can only have things that already started and you pass it along. Or when you do Ready Set Go, obviously you can do continued whip pictures for Ready Set Go. because you started. What do you do? Just not.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, so that. If that's confusing, please contact somebody. Me, Talia, Rena, somebody. Rena's probably going, I don't understand this either. So
I barely understand.
I know what I'm trying to say, but and it tells you what we can do. I mean, basically knitting, crocheting, loom knitting, weaving, paper crafts, okay?
All that detail.
All that stuff. And the same featured yarns and featured patterns and featured people like me, Talia, and Laura, okay? The hashtag is PHNABC2025 on Instagram, if you want to put it there. Ready, Set, Go is the other one. Nice little segue in from what we said earlier. And Ready, Set, Go is exactly what we say it is. You start all the things. We got rid of all the stuff, hopefully, in the last along. End of, I think it was called End of something. Out with the Old was what it was called. And Out with the Old, which strove to get our needles and hooks cleared. Ready, Set, Go is putting new things on. We're already a week in. This first month of January, you can get credit for frogged items. So if you show us the partially finished item and then show us the yarn, then, all together, then you get 2 chances at a prize. Okay? No, that's not right. Is it? No.
It repeats?
You get to have that counted. You get the second chance at a prize if you use that reclaimed yarn for something else. That's what it is. Okay? So, you have your frogged picture. You picture your frog picture. That's one. And then if you use that yarn, obviously you get a second chance for it. Okay? I think that's the only other. Oh, the hashtag is PHN. Hashtag PHN Race at Go 2025 on Instagram. And I really do apologize for it being so disjointed. I can't quite get my thoughts clear.
And it's also, we have a bit of a challenging new along.
Yeah.
I'm just reaching over because I'm tired of seeing the weather notification. There we go.
It's cool as well. Might be a nice iced tea. Okay, now, sorry about the clanking. My first one, and I'm not working on much because my hands are really bothering me.
Yeah, she was, I need to change her mouse out. She has an ergonomic one, and I just haven't gotten her set up with the Bluetooth, and because of the way she's been holding her mouse, she already has hand and wrist pain. Prior to that, if I get her set up with a mouse, it should at least help.
Yeah. So you haven't seen this bag in a while. This is my Knitter's Magic bag. It's not made by her, but somebody makes it for her. And it's a really nice kind of velour bag. It looks like it's black. I guess it is black with like...
It's got purple. No, Mom, that's navy blue. I'm pretty sure it's navy blue.
I know that the flowers are purple and
well, maybe it is black.
I can't tell if it's black.
Yeah.
Anyway,
sometimes navy blue is so dark you can't tell.
This is my Welcome Little One project from the On the Porch Blanket by 5410 Studios. And I haven't worked on this in a while. I took it out yesterday to work on it. For a minute, I couldn't figure out after I finished the row, how to knit and not have it all in one piece. Because
it's been so long.
It's been so long. Daddy really likes the design on this.
Oops, sorry.
So, that's how it looks. I think I'm about a third of the way through, maybe. And I think I started this like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, you started it a long time ago.
I think I started around the pandemic.
Well, the thing is, you actually don't work on it a lot.
No, I don't. My hands have been bothering me, so I switched back to knitting a little bit. And I don't do as much knitting because I can't fix it. I need to learn how to fix it, but I don't. And it frustrates me because I always end up messing it up, and then Talia has to look at it, and it's worse than I should have just given it to her in the first place. But this is in my Bare Necessities yarn, and it's really soft. I was going for a classic feel.
And it definitely does that.
My husband's like, who are you giving it to? I said, I don't know. Somebody will have a baby in the church. Give it to the pregnancy center. Somebody have a baby in the church.
Mel's having a baby.
Too far in advance. Right, let's see here. Who am I looking at now?
Yeah, you won't have it finished in time. Because I think they said... Gosh, now I'm confused because my reading...
August, I think you said.
No, I know it's my reading partner. Unless they were both August. I'm not sure.
All right, my next one is in another one of my Knitter's Magic bags. Well, same lady who makes that one too. I really like this bag. I got Davina and Ty a bag for Christmas when I got this because I wanted this bag.
I might have done things like that myself.
So, it's a really pretty material. I really like it. And so this is my cherry bomb shawl from the Scrap Shawl Pattern by Anastasia Sattel, as if anybody didn't know, because I make a million of these. And I didn't do a lot of work because my hand was starting to bother me, and then we had Christmas and guests and all this kind of stuff, Thanksgiving. And
I was telling Mom she benefits whenever she makes these for me because she has been known to borrow mine, as she is currently.
Boy, that's brighter than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see how big it is. And it does work up really fast. I mean, I've made these, if I sit down and concentrate, my hand's not bothering me, I can make a lot of progress for this.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when I use a larger yarn. This is a DK weight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, DK weight yarns.
And right now it's got more of a pinkish tone, but once all the other reds come in, because we have some quite ready reds in there. But I think you're part of what's helping you see the true color of it is, first of all, you have a really good screen that you can actually see now. And then you have the natural light in here. Usually when we podcast, we haven't had these lights.
Right.
So it's been dark in here.
It would be a lot better for people to see my yarn when I do that kind of stuff, This is a very lightweight DK, or maybe it's just, I don't know, it feels very lightweight.
That one might be a sport, maybe.
I don't usually get sport.
Okay, well, maybe it's just a light DK. Because is that one of your yarns?
No, I don't think so.
Because it might have been one of the ones I gave you. Because I gave you basically everything I had that was red. Or red adjacent.
I don't think it's one of mine.
No, I don't think so.
This is Heidi's.
This is Heidi's, yeah. Yeah, that's something I gave you.
Heidi is Undead Yarn, for those of you who are new.
I can't remember what the weight was for that yarn. Because I think...
Feel this.
No, I can tell it's thinner.
I think it's Big Bad Wolf.
That's what I was thinking. Big Bad Wolf 8 Little Red Riding Hood.
Gruesome.
Yeah, that might be a sport mom.
Maybe.
It just means that section is a little lighter. That's one of the benefits of this shawl. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But is that it for that one? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you went twice?
Twice.
Yeah.
I don't think I have to go twice.
No, I think you just had to go twice once.
I'm not sure if I have 5 or not.
Yeah. So I'm going to just show the one I'm working on because I actually reached the end of my needle. These are, so in my little bunnies bag, I think this was made for me. Where's the tag in here? Yeah.
Laura had it made, right? Or was Emma?
No, this is Mama C.
Oh, Mama C, that's right.
Because she also made the matching
that's right.
hot pats.
Right. Like she made me the owl thing.
Yeah. So there we go.
Christina
really cute.
Christina spoils us.
This project has changed so many bags because I'm starting to use my bags for other things besides knitting projects because I have these excess bags and I need something like to hold other things. So I've got several of them holding some scrapbooking stuff. And then I have so many different kinds of sticky notes, both my scrapbooking ones and then my just plain normal ones, that sometimes the one drawer that was normally my sticky notes had trouble opening. So now I have a sticky notes bag. Actually, I have 2 of them. One with smaller ones, one with bigger ones, because I might have a lot of sticky notes.
Our bags have a lot of them have become repurposed. We have a ton of bags. And so...
And bags are always useful.
Well, I'm going to stick mine. I have a drawer full of like hats and stuff. And I'm going to put like the hats in one and the mitts and cowls in another and the socks in another.
Which is actually a really great use of bags.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just need a way to...
Organize.
And that's very nice. But yeah, so this project has changed bags as I've repurposed a bag for something else. But yeah, these are Mom's Christmas socks that are not actually going to be done in time. Well, they weren't done in time for Christmas, but I kind of felt awkward because Dad's Christmas socks are like his only main present. I got Mom a bunch of other things, so it would have been kind of weird to have your socks done in time.
I wasn't worried about it.
But they should be done by next Christmas for you to already have them. So these are the Dance All Night socks. Actually, one of the people, I ended up telling someone on BookTube about, or on Bookstagram about this pattern. She's a fellow knitter reader. And yeah, it is a really nice pattern. I actually need to knit this for myself at some point. I really like it in the yarn that it's intended for. So the base, originally it was written for chroma. So I really wanted to work in the chroma, and Mom wanted it in her colorway. So I think you actually, did Davina give you the chroma for?
She got me the bear chroma.
She got you the bear chroma.
Somebody got me bear chroma.
Yeah, I think it was her. She got you bear chroma for like Christmas or something, because I was hoping if you had the yarn, you would actually dye the yarn so I can make your socks that we've been talking about for like ever. And since it was written for this, I figured it would wear properly. What I think probably happens is it probably felts on the bottom to make like this really nice, almost slippery kind of feel.
And not slippery as in sliding.
No, but like,
I don't need help to fall.
No, well, you always wear other slippers anyway. But so the colorway is, it came without packages. It's one of Mom's colorways. And it already just looks nice. And this is actually, in the way it was intended, so this is going to be warmer than your other ones.
It's nice.
Because chroma is kind of, I think it's like a heavy worsted.
They have worsted and they have fingering now.
Yeah, now this was written with the original chroma, so this wasn't written with the fingering. This was written with whatever it is. I guess it's worsted, heavy worsted.
Aaron?
Maybe, yeah, it might be Aaron. It's hard to tell because it's unplied. Which is another reason why I think it might felt on the bottom.
Superwash though.
Well, yeah, superwash. I mean, but like it will wear, so it becomes kind of like a
matte.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to say. It's not, I don't mean like that it'll shrink and felt. I mean that it'll just kind of all mat together into this nice solid bottom. And I wonder if that is what was intended by the pattern. So this one is done. Working on the leg of the other one. Yes. I did get sidetracked on this when I was doing Dad's Christmas knitting. And Dad's Christmas knitting took a little longer than anticipated because I didn't anticipate the fact that even with knitting needles, working dark sport yarn, black sport yarn in my dark room was challenging. So I basically had to work it whenever I was out of my room or if my eyes weren't hurting. So it made it a little bit more of a close thing than it might have been normally.
Working anything in black means it's a labor of love.
Yes, and especially if you're someone who's light sensitive and your room is dark. So yes, we're not knitting Dad anymore black socks.
I never knitted Daddy black socks.
We're not doing it.
I'm glad to hear that you have a mouse in your pocket. Let me just clip this.
The rest of the manly colors cannot be black.
Figure out my list one. I had a whole list of things, which Davina promptly.
She was so nosy.
Dad thought it was funny that she had her own list, even if she didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Let's see here. This is getting to the point where I almost can't close it.
Do you need to switch over to another bag? Oh, you don't have anything bigger.
Well, I think Laura's bag might be bigger. The big bag over there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let me see here.
But is it holding something that needs to be in the bigger?
It's got my bear yarn that needs to be dyed up.
Oh, okay.
I think. All right. My next one is in my 10-year anniversary bag. Yeah. Okay. In here. My 10-year anniversary bag. This is my little boy blue baby blanket. And it's made a little progress, but not a lot, because like I said, I didn't do a whole lot on anything with Christmas and all that. I thought I'd get more done, but we had people over for Thanksgiving, which was after the podcast, wasn't it?
Yes, I want to say it was.
No, because we had December podcast.
Well, it's after the the November podcast, and then we did have the December one.
Okay. So, but somehow in December, things got really kind of just...
Well,
Advent-
Christmas stuff came. Well, it was a short Advent.
It was a very short Advent.
because the first Sunday of December.
Well, Thanksgiving was late. That's what it was.
That's what it was. Thanksgiving
Yeah.
was late, so the first Sunday of December came a lot closer on the heels of Thanksgiving then.
And everybody I talked to said how quickly it seemed like they got thrown into the Advent and Christmas preparations and festivities and all that. And I just felt kind of like I was at sea.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was baking a lot and doing a lot of...
Yeah, we didn't even get like our craft. What happened was our craft day also disappeared because we ended up baking on those days. 'Cause it did feel like almost as soon as Advent started, we were cooking it. Also, I needed a couple recovery days.
Yeah. And we had to start because we always take packages around the neighborhood for a few of the neighbors with cookies and stuff. And all of a sudden I'm looking at it like, I have to get these out.
Mm-hmm.
I have to get these out. So I had to, kind of do kind of a mini marathon baking. And, I had intended to, dye up more yarn. I didn't do any sales for Christmas. I just didn't. I might have a birthday sale maybe.
Mm-hmm. Now things are kind of eased. And since your hands are hurting, you're thinking, and maybe, like I said, maybe the warm water might feel a little bit nice.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, I got off track, but I could talk more about that later. This is my bad.
We need to remember to write down in your planner for books to read, that one that I have about the yarn farm, because it has like two sections, one main section on dyeing, but it has in two different recipe areas for dyeing. But what I was especially interested in was how they were how she was talking about what temperatures are best for taking what colors, which I thought was really interesting. And I thought that you would find that to be cool.
Well, I have an interesting idea. I'm sure maybe somebody's done it. I'm not going to say it here in case somebody hasn't thought of it. But I have an interesting idea I want to try for dyeing and see how it pans out. It stems off of a gift that my husband picked up. That I had written a note that said, "Don't pick this up because I'm not sure if I'm going to get something else or something." I forget what it was. But he picked it up anyway. So that might be... And I'll show you about that later. Sorry, I'm being cryptic. But anyway, this is my little boy blue baby blanket. Look at the way the yarn works.
It's so nice. Well, you always have liked how this yarn has always consistently been fun for very simple patterns.
And this one I generally do for baby blankets, the Surabel. But my hand was starting to bother me. I thought, well, let me just do a straight double crochet blanket. And that's what I'm doing here. It's not a pattern, it's just double crochet. And that keeps the baby warm just as easily. And it's pretty with this yarn because the yarn does all the work.
Which every once in a while, it's nice to have a simple pattern where you still have the fun of the yarn. That's why people like so much self-stripping yarn for socks and stuff, because they can do a simple vanilla sock, or like I usually tend to do, which is a simple ribbed sock.
Right.
Where you can just go. Now, I can definitely see why people like the simple, like if they don't even want to do a rib, they just want to go around. It's nice.
On the 9-inch needles. Those little...
Yeah. Usually I prefer to magic loop.
I tried those one time, like I had some.
I find them fiddly.
I found it tight on the hands.
Well, also, I think it depends on, like, if you have a bigger foot, it might work better. We have long feet, but we don't have wide feet. So, that does make a difference when you're making the smallest size or close to the small. Actually, I think we always end up making the smallest size circumference wise because we just have,
if that takes away the need to do like, kitchenery, but,
no, it's not going to take away that.
Not kitchenery, but, it takes away the needs for DPNs. It takes away the needs for magic looping. That might be something for me to look into again. But
I know you said part of the problem is that because I know part of the problem is that you actually said it would hurt your hands, and like I said, I feel like it's actually not a good size for someone who tends to have to make always the smallest size.
But wouldn't you just make fewer stitches? It's not that big of a...
But it's too tight. It's too... Believe it or not, I think it's more fiddly than just doing the darn DPNs or even better, the magic loop.
Well, I'd like to do the magic loop because even if I never do socks, I'd like to be able to do it for other things like a sweater or hat or something.
Well, I mean, if you do sleeves, you need to figure out something.
Although they have flat and seamed.
They do, but generally they only have those. In my experience, most of the time, that's a completely flat sweater.
Yeah. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But not that I've ever done a flat sweater knitted.
It's been a while. I have a couple on the needles now. I don't know if the one I started quite a while back is still going to fit the intended recipient, because the intended recipient lost a ton of weight, and now I'm concerned that it won't fit anymore.
Well, he can just bundle up.
Yeah.
Because he gets cold easily now. He lost all that weight.
Yeah, and I know I need to get back to it. And it's actually a simple sweater, so I should get back to it. I don't know why I haven't. Maybe just because I've had things that I don't need to think about at all. Maybe I'm on decreases or something like that. Because right now, if I'm knitting, it's just like there's a reason I'm constantly doing my my log cabins and stuff.
No, that's the same with me. I mean, I love doing toys. And many people who've been with us for a long time know that my first love was toys, and in terms of pattern stuff. And I've got 3 or 4 of Taya's turtles in various stages of development that are just waiting to be finished. I have 2 biddies and I have a Tara.
Tara.
I love Tara.
Where is she?
There's a couple of them up there, I think.
Yeah, here's one here. Because you don't have... No, I gave you...
The bright one's over there.
Okay, why is she hidden?
Because everything fell down.
Oh, Felicia.
We can fix it later. All the
And Felicia's actually her name.
all the I forget what I named mine.
I don't remember. But Felicia was actually made for my office at my last job.
My yarn.
With your yarn. And then, because you actually had dyed the yarn. I think I
made a kit because
you made a kit
because I made one for Laura too.
Yeah, but it wasn't a kit meant for Tara or anything. It was like you had. Oh, I know what it was. I took it from the Makes Me Happy, or one of your happy colorways for autism awareness. I'm like, break down those colors. I want those for a Tara.
Yeah, that's what Laura did. I just call it a kit because that's what
Yeah. Because I think Laura saw mine.
She said, "I want what Taya wants." I want what Taya has. Okay.
What was that quote? I'll have what she's had. But yeah, I made it's bright colored Tara, and she's just so adorable.
Yeah, I think it's Happy to Know It or something.
Yeah, but that's why she's Felicia.
Yeah, but she's adorable, and I can't have those turtles anywhere near me because then I stop doing everything. I do this.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
It is. Let me just finish these last 2 pearls, because if I have only 2, hair right here. If I only have 2 stitches on the needle, it's like that's asking for the needle to come out. I don't feel like picking up stitches. Okay. So the next...
Wow, look at this. It has a knot in it.
Oh, I hate it when that happens, because then I always need to feel like I need to go back, undo the knot, because I don't trust the integrity of it then. So the next one I want to show... This is one of my I'm too lazy to think about anything projects. The only time I end up being a problem is when I have to change over colors, and then it becomes this sits in limbo until I can brain enough to pick up colors. And then part of it is also then I have to pick a new color.
And just take the finish, she'll do it for you.
True, but sometimes I just don't want to.
Don't have to.
So this is my courtyard steps. This is the pattern. I know people have asked us for the pattern, or maybe once or twice people have asked us for the pattern. We just based it off of some sort of free, like, how does the courthouse steps work? We just want something simple. So this really isn't a pattern. We just recipeed it off of something. And yeah, it's growing. It's intended to be like a lap sort of thing, but I don't mind if it's quite a bit bigger, because right now I'm even using finish my square blanket. I just like fold it in half and then fold it again the other direction, so I have like this really warm thing on my lap, because I get really cold easily. Now some of it doesn't matter how much I get covered up, because if I'm having a flare, usually it happens in the middle of the day where I'm just so cold nothing will warm me up. It's an internal cold, but it feels better. You know how people with sensory will deal well with it's a weight, like a weighted blanket or something like that. That's the effect I get when I have my mitered square folded over like 4 times on my lap. It gives that weight to it, even if I'm still cold.
Right.
And that's why I wear like 3 shawls, a poncho, my jacket thing, and I could probably very happily wear like 2 more shawls.
She looks like the Nanook of the North.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're just
Not that I know what that looks like. It's just
we're lucky that I'm not wearing like 4 knitted caps or something. And the only reason why I don't do that is because I don't want to deal with hat hair. But yes, I'm not even sure where this yarn came from. I know some of these are just mini skeins that people gave me. I think this was probably a mini skein someone gave me, because I don't think I worked anything in this color other than.
I don't think this is one of mine.
No, it's not. I think someone just gave me as a mini skein, because for a while people were giving me mini skeins for my mitered square, because that was going on for quite a while before I finally finished it. And so I do have some leftovers from that. And so they end up in this. And if I run out in the middle, which does happen a fair amount, because unlike the mitered square, the length, I need more yarn as I go along.
Yeah.
So some of my logs are going to have multiple yarns. I try to match it as best I can, and then sometimes I don't care.
Why? Why match it? I mean, it's like a Monet painting or something.
Yeah, so it doesn't have the convenience of the mitered square in that way, but I don't want to have to worry about the decreases and increases, and I want to just knit, and that's what this is for. And now I'm cold because I took that off my lap, so I'm going to put it back on my lap. I didn't realize that I wanted it. Okay.
Okay, let's see here.
Oh, and it's in my sheep with knitted sayings and stuff like that bag. This one was also a gift, because I don't think this is. Yeah, this is another Mama C.
Oh yeah. She makes nice bags.
So, Mama C, I'm using 2 out of my 3 projects are in your bags.
And I know that my hook for one of my projects is a Mama C bag hook. And yeah, we use a lot of her stuff.
Well, I know like one of the bags that Laura gave me has become I have all the rosaries that apparently I decided I needed like 1,000 rosaries. So my one with the little bunny butts with the little open, the plastic view, that has all my rosaries in it, and it could still fit some in there, although it's getting kind of full. And I think I have another one of her bags that's holding like something medicine wise in my purse,
Yeah, I use bags for everything. I mean, I've got like a gazillion. Well, not a gazillion, but I have a fair amount in my shelves behind us or in front of us, behind you. And I have some upstairs. Like I'm going to start putting sheets in there because.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Well, actually what I have the body pillows. And so if I have 3 sets of sheets, I have 3 body pillows. I can just put everything in it, and I know that they all go, and I can get rid of everything else, because it's really hard. I don't know, when they started making the mattresses so thick, and they don't, I end up having to get a size larger for the top sheets, just so it'll go underneath so you can tuck it in. Yeah. And I always get a size larger for the bedspread / comforter, because they don't make it big enough to
yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't make it.
I guess because they want you to use the dust ruffle, but I don't want a dust ruffle. I have drawers under my under my bed,
Which is really cool.
Okay, that's more information they want to know. All right, this one is what I really like to work on most of the time. It's my Scrappy Dappy Doo blanket. I'm just using all kinds of DK yarns. It's in my bag that Rena gave me. I'm pretty sure Rena gave me this.
And because she's using DK, this will be too thick.
Let's see. And this, I just kind of do what I do with this. It's not squares. It's not. Why do I have this in here? What is this?
This won't work for my theme for my thicker blanket, because I've changed it so it's themed. Because I decided, like, partway through that I wanted certain yarn and certain colors for my other courtyard steps. So this one won't work in that.
This is now I can see this much better here. So it's
that nice?
It's a little dark right now, but that will change when I start using Lollipop Girl yarns, because talk about a pop of color.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the brightest one right now is this one here. I think that's a Miss Babs right here. I think it's a
But
Miss
it's
Babs.
light, not necessarily bright.
Right. And I've got in my, I don't have enough space in this bag to put all the yarn that I'm using.
Mm-hmm.
And I just go, this bag allows, this blanket allows me the freedom to just choose. I can
Which is
stop.
nice.
I don't have to go all the way to the end. I can just,
You've given yourself permission.
yes, I've given myself permission to just do whatever.
And Laura knows how hard that is for you. How many times she told you that you can just stop in the middle and change colors?
I said, no.
She's doing it, Laura.
I said, no. Laura will be proud of me. I can be taught.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's got my square. I told them that I wanted to start another square, and they said, okay, that's that. Laura's like, I'm not done with your other one yet. She's working on my other one. She says, Mom, what's your what needle size is this? I don't know, Laura. I don't remember.
And you used to write those things down.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I was on Ravelry, I was a lot more organized. Now
And
it's
Lovecraft Stitches isn't quite as well set up for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to try to keep a, little notebook to keep track of the projects, and then I just forgot.
I just didn't.
Yes.
But yeah, so this, I think I'm working. I have a lot of Miss Babs in here, and I am hoping to put some of my own colorways in here. I have colorways that were sitting on my shelf. Yes, they're full skeins, but this is a long blanket. Okay, this is meant to go across a bed or hang over the back of a couch. So this is this is a three cushion couch long or wide. I mean, so this is a big blanket, and so the stripes are necessarily not very big.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'll edge it or not.
You'll think of that when you get there.
I'll figure that out. I'll think about it tomorrow. Somewhere down the line, I'll think about it. But I'm enjoying. This is a fun one because all I do is just, let me see if I can get to the end of the skein. Now, if it's a full skein, it'll take me a few days to get through. But, and then when I change the stitch, from a big stitch to a smaller stitch, it takes a little long. You can see this stitch here. This is Sidewalk Chalk by Marigold Jen, and that's in single crochet as opposed to double. So it takes longer to do the single crochet.
Right. And that one was a full skein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
Which is nice. Now you have Marigold Jen in something that you're keeping.
Because there were certain skeins that I had, and I'm like, I can't get this anymore.
I think that I'm using my Sidewalk Chalk in my Hitchhiker. And honestly, I need to go back to that because that one is actually addictive when you're actually working it because you're like, just one more tooth. And I love the colorway.
I need to try that because you're going to see something later on, and if it's not too difficult, it would look really pretty and something like that. I think. Unless it has a pattern I have to worry about.
No, it doesn't. It's really actually, it's basically, as I recall, it's basically garter stitch except for that little tooth at the end. And then you just get steadily bigger, and then it's not like you decrease back down. You just stop. As I recall, you just sort of stop at that top. The
only problem I have with that pattern is, and Brittany gave me a beautiful one. I think it was Brittany.
She did.
The only thing I have is I'm not quite sure how to wear an astromatic shawl.
Yeah, I think I almost wear it more like a scarf. Because I don't actually wear normal scarves. Or like, what was it, the cravat? What's his name from Scooby-Doo would wear? Ascot, yeah. Where you just sort of like have it stuck in there. And I kind of see like, okay, well, if you're cold, that's another nice sort of thing.
If I could figure that out, who would look good in it, she would wear it, is Lee.
Yes, she would. What color, though?
Pink. Pink or red. Lee is one of my friends from church, and she's amazing, and she's very, very sweet. And if you hear us saying that we're doing some kind of dinner engagement, it's probably with her.
Yeah,
her husband. And now her grandnephew.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's for that one? Now my final one. Okay, let me make sure there we go. Okay, so in my Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival bag, I'm so glad that before we stopped going to festivals, I got my Shenandoah bag and my Maryland one.
Yeah, we both
and
have
actually,
one,
this was the year that the Shenandoah one was actually really good quality.
Yeah, the Shenandoah one that year, I have it as well. I think mine is blue though, isn't it?
It might be. I don't remember. But so I have a Maryland and a Shenandoah.
Sorry. The bag reminded me. I went looking because I have much I missed the Fiber Festival. It's your fault. They have a tea.
Why is it my fault?
It's a tea festival.
Well, no. Why is it my fault?
Because it is. Because you mentioned bags and festivals.
But
festival
what is that?
Festival,
but I didn't.
festival
How does that mean it's my fault that you found?
Don't break your little brain.
It doesn't work.
Yes,
I
it
only
does.
mentioned the bag now, but you obviously already found out about the other thing.
Yes, but I wanted to say something about it.
But it's not my fault that you found it.
So no, I didn't say it was your fault that you found it. I said it was your fault that I was saying it now.
Okay.
I'm right.
So there's a tea festival.
It's a tea type thing, like a Fiber Festival, and it's in Nathan's not too far. He said, "Take me." I can't remember where it is, but it's like 45 minutes from.
So what do they allow you to taste stuff?
I guess
That's cool.
because my husband knows how much I miss going to things with Talia.
Because I kind of picture like wine tastings where you go, it's got a what's it
A
called?
piquant.
And they're talking about the mouthfeel. And you know,
And Davia's like, "Okay, good. Then you and I can have a dad-daughter." He's like, Daddy's like, "No, we're gonna go with your mom." It's like, "Oh." So you can stay home if you want to. You don't have to go to the tea tasting if you don't want to. But she thought she wants to get rid of me so she can have a daddy-daughter day.
Well, and she's also used to associating festivals with you going. Now, it's different when you would go with me, but that's what she associates festivals with now. She hasn't been to one of those any of your festivals in a while because
we always went together.
Because we went together, and then she and Dad would go off to something. So to be absolutely fair to her, that's probably why.
Well, she's already planning her daddy-daughter weekend when I go on retreat in March.
Right, because even though I'm home, it's almost like it doesn't matter because honestly I can't go anywhere. So it's still her and Dad. I might as well not be around.
I mean, they don't go too far because they don't like to leave you alone. But they'll get to, he'll take her down to the bottom of the hill. And those of you who've been with us for a while,
she actually doesn't need a whole lot to make her happy to have a daddy-daughter time.
I mean, if my husband will try to make it special by taking her, down the bottom of the hills.
They'll usually do like something like Subway.
10-minute walk. Then we'll go. Well, I don't think they're going to Subway anymore. But they'll go to a restaurant or they'll order not Domino's, not Papa John's, but they go to Taco Bell or something.
Yeah. Now I think now that I'm a lot less restrictive with my diet, maybe perhaps they'd give me something.
And then they also and my husband feeling a little more comfortable now might take her over the bridge to Walmart.
Yeah.
Or something. So we have like. We're in a small town.
And they also know a lot of times if they leave, I'm probably going to sleep anyway.
Yeah. We're in a small town, so we don't have a lot available right here, but we do have a Walmart and we have a Michael's and right here around right over the bridge. And then in town, we have a few things that she doesn't need a lot. She can just so she went out and she could say she shopped.
Yeah, yeah.
They go, what do they call treasure hunting? What do they call it when they go?
Oh, I don't know.
When they go to we have a bunch of little we have Goodwill and the shop at the bottom of the hill. Which
Are
is
they still
secondhand.
doing the I don't know if Dad and Davina ever went to these, but the little not bazaar, but the thing that used to have by the gas station where the what was it? Not Fire Festival.
It's a mart. It's a mart. It's like a flea market.
Flea market. That was the word I was looking for.
We have a flea market on the weekends, but not. I think they're closed right now.
Okay, I wasn't. Well, yeah.
It's still cold.
I wasn't sure if we still even had that post-COVID.
No, we have it. Yeah, we have it. But so there's places for them to go. She doesn't need a whole lot. She just needs to be.
And the reason why I don't know what's in the area anymore and things have changed, I don't go out. So stores will change and things will change. I'll have no idea.
He might take her to DL Campus, which is my favorite place to have, tea or a cookie or something. Or if she wants something more than what's available there for cookies, there's a bakery across the street from them. Really good bakery across the street.
Well, I know if you and I ever wanted to push me just a little bit, it would be the only place I would possibly go to try would be the tea place. Because if I got too tired, we could leave. But we could have, because I'm not as restrictive anymore, we could have the food they have there.
Well, we could either go to DL Campus or we could go to...
I'm afraid the DL Campus might be more crowded.
No. It doesn't get crowded. I mean, it's always got people there, but it's not overly crowded. I'm saying Dale Campus because it's darker.
Oh, okay.
It's a little darker.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly. I mean, it's not dark, but it's kind of darker. I think it's got like a wood-like or feel to it. It just seems more cozy.
Yeah.
The bakery you've been in.
Yeah. Now, you don't really sit in the bakery.
And then there's the Daily Grind, but we don't go to the Daily Grind.
And the Daily Grind's bright. I think it's the brightest of the 3 places. And it's busier. At least when I went to it was busier. I don't know what it's like now.
And there's a new place that Daddy had been wanting to try, but not while it's cold. I won't go into.
Yeah.
It has smoothies and stuff, but they're like protein and they're dairy free and they're all kinds of stuff there.
But yeah, those the tea place and you suggest DL Campus. If I'm willing to try to push just a little bit.
Oh, you're talking about the tea place in the Mart area.
Yes. What did you think I was talking about?
I couldn't figure out because you kept saying that.
You know, the tea place in the
the place with the soup and all that.
Yeah, because it's a very small place. You just have the teas there, and then you have like I think it's sandwiches and soup or something like that. Something very simple. And candy. And something very simple that if I felt unwell, we could pack up and go home. And it's close to home, and it's very quiet. Like, if I ever wanted to push just a little bit, I probably would pay for it. But every once in a while, maybe.
Well, it's good to see what you can do once in a while, because you have to prepare to go to Canfield anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like my big plan. Like, I'm actually going to leave the state.
Not for a doctor's appointment.
Yes. Although, yeah, because I guess technically we have gone to Maryland. It almost doesn't feel like...
We went to New Jersey.
Oh, thank heavens we haven't had to do that for years. That was a pain in the neck.
More than ways than one.
Oh, and thankfully, I know I haven't brought this up on here, but there was an actual concern for a while that I wouldn't be able to get my specialist. And then there was a concern that I would possibly have to travel across the country to get, and I can't fly. Because...
And we can't take off enough time to drive.
Yeah. But thankfully, John Hopkins actually has... a dysautonomia clinic, and there's several of them in Maryland. So,
and they might come out to
well, I don't know if that's going to be a dysautonomia clinic.
That's why I said might. That's why I said might.
They just had open up in December another John Hopkins clinic. Now, whether or not it will actually be a dysautonomia clinic, who knows?
To be seen.
But the ones in Maryland are close enough. Like, they are at least. There's not a lot of... It's not much farther than my other Maryland doctor was. And the problem was my doctor I've seen for several years, who I'm very disappointed I'm losing him. Actually, it's her. Even though it's in his name, I have the wife. And, yeah, they just don't take my insurance anymore. But thankfully, I'm now going to be connected to Dysautonomia Clinic. But, yeah, so I do leave the state, but it's... And that's where my neurosurgeon is in Maryland as well. But I don't really almost feel like Maryland counts because it's not very far. But somehow, like, leaving for Ohio because it takes several hours is a bigger deal because I get nausea.
Well, the good thing about that for us, I think we're going to invest in those baby. You put them on the windows and you pull them down like shades. We'll invest in those for either side, and then she can sleep. In the car, and then
because that's the only way I can with my instability in my spine. Because I actually I'd asked my my specialist for dysautonomia why I was getting nausea still in the car, and she said, "Oh, that's the instability of spine because just the bouncing in the car. The only thing that even with the neck brace, which I hate that thing, but I do have to wear it in the car or else I will be absolutely miserable. But even with the neck brace stabilizing things, it's the rocking in the car still makes me nauseous because I'm unstable back here.
And we seem to have gotten off I think I said mine last.
Yes, I have to go next. I don't remember why we, because you mentioned tea festival when I showed the bag.
Not my fault.
And I showed the bag and I didn't even show the project. Because you got off on tea festival and I forgot that I never showed the project.
Sounds like a you problem.
This is my sorry, I need to look at the name of the pattern. Not that notebook. This is the Log Cabin Love Blanket by 10 Hours or Less, our very own George.
Oh, George, you're out there.
I think I might be in the middle of the row. I am in the middle of the row. So this one's quite a bit larger, it feels like, even though actually it might be only a little bit larger than the other one. It's just that it's heavier.
It's all worsted, right?
It's all worsted. It started off with just random worsted, and then I realized I really liked having the
Wool of the Andes?
yeah, it's wool of the Andes, and so I'm actually doing all wool of the Andes, and I'm doing shades like, okay, so I'll have like purple and purple, like I need to do the light purple across from that when I'm done with this side.
She's doing lavender and purple, and
Then purple and purple,
yeah,
like across from each other. So lavender, lavender, purple, and purple. I have a dark blue, and then light blue, and I'm working my way up, and it's actually themed now.
she started that right here.
Yeah. And I decided I really liked that. So my center doesn't really match the rest of the colors because everything else feels autumnal. And then you have this random bit of spring in the middle.
That's fine.
And so this is ending up larger than I intended originally because I was like, well, I want to get all these different colors in.
And the superwash?
Some of it is. The more recent one, because initially Wool of the Andes didn't have a superwash, but some of the colors I wanted was in superwash. So I'm like, I don't care that my curl right in the middle of my forehead.
This feels different than this. This almost feels like it's not, and this is, or vice versa.
This one might be. I don't think the red is. Maybe the dark blue might be. I'm not sure because
They do feel different though.
Yeah, well then that might be the case. Although I did notice, although that doesn't make a difference because that was in a different color. That was a difference in weight. Although you noticed the Brava, that their white was lighter weight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the white it's really weird. I'm not sure what it is, but both for the worsted and for the sport, it's a lot lighter weight for the white or cream or whatever, that off-white color or whatever it is.
But I do think you're probably right for this. It's more that it's superwash and non-superwash because I do have a mixture of that in here. But I love this blanket. It's nice and it's warm. And this one needs slightly more attention because it's got the hearts on it. But that's something I've actually loved. I've always loved George's patterns with the hearts. I did a baby blanket. Actually, I ended up giving it to a PHNer with a big heart that was in the center. And because I have my dark glasses on, I can't.
That one to,
It was Nicole.
Oh, you didn't give that to Tabby?
No. Tabby either already had her baby or hadn't had Tabby.
I know I gave something to Tabby. I gave her.
I did give something to Tabby, but it wasn't that.
Yeah, I gave her a toy, and it was a Stacy Trock toy with a matching blanket.
Like kind of like what I did for Mel, for my godson.
Now I don't remember. I don't remember working on this other project, so I'm not going to show it to you because it was only like a partial circle type of thing for that toy.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm not going to show it to you. I don't think you need to see it. You won't see anything. It's just
Right.
And I don't know if this is the right bag for it. I think it's in this bag actually. I'm not sure why I have this other bag here.
My bag, like that one, now holds my clear book, like my clear book journaling, or not, my clear annotation sticky notes. And I'm like, oh, okay, which bag? Oh, yeah, the book one holds the book sticky notes. Got it.
Yeah, that works. Okay. I do have a frog though.
Okay, well, show your frog.
Okay.
Because I don't have anything like finished or anything, and
Okay.
that's all my projects.
Now this one is nothing against the pattern designer or anything. I just put it aside for so long that I think my gauge has probably changed.
Yeah.
And also I couldn't quite tell where I was. So this was the Anne of Avonlea.
Right. Well, also it's a sampler, and that's not where your brain's at right now.
It's called the Anne's Imagination Cowl, which at some point I am going to
And that's
do.
a Tanya,
It's a Tanya.
because I saw her first name on top of there. Okay, so it's Tanya Marie. Oh, she has her full name on there. So Tanya Anderson, although she has her full name on there, so I guess that's not a problem. But and her blog her site at her time was at the honeysuckle tree.
But I don't know if that's there anymore.
So I don't know if that, because that's no pattern.
I really like the way she sets up her patterns. If you can see the...
It's really, she has check
Can you see the
boxes.
check boxes there? It's kind of hard to see, but The other person who did something like this was Laura Smoot.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it because it saves me the problem of having to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I have now I have 3 skeins of this. Feel this. It's soft.
That comes from
Comes from that Italian place.
I don't think it was Italian. It was
They gave us Italian yarn. This comes when we had that club.
yes, it was a club. I don't think they did Italian yarn.
Mm-hmm. They did.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Some of them were. I forget what it's called. We were
Because they reached out to me on either Plurk or Twitter, and they were like, "Hey, we'll give you free yarn." I'm like, "Okay." And then we joined one of their clubs. The club didn't work for us for very long because the color choices were
even when I got some nice color choices from them, but
they wouldn't mark like what weight things were.
yeah, that was the hard thing. And also, I found I couldn't keep up.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. Yeah,
But I have
the only
3 of
time we've
these.
ever done yarn boxes.
Mm-hmm. I have 3 of
It was
these.
called yarn box.
Yeah,
It was just called yarn box.
I have 3 of these, and so I don't know what I'm going to do with it exactly. It's
So they had crochet clubs and they had knit clubs.
I always do the crochet, but I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this. I was thinking about maybe just kind of fudging it, and maybe just even making a single crochet scarf.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure. It's gonna have to sit for a while.
While you're thinking about
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. So that's that.
it. Okay, so you don't have any yarn or journaling, right?
Mm-mm.
And
I have journaling, but I'm not showing it.
I have journaling that I am showing. And this time I marked down what I've done. So that way I have an idea what I need to show you. I had down there because I didn't want to risk getting tea on it. I'm getting so close to the end of this journal. Okay, so the one for the Saga of the Volsungs first. So, that was fun. You can see where Tolkien had some of his influence. This kind of makes me think of...
This is a Balrog.
Well, this is actually more makes me think of, you haven't read it yet, but the Children of Húrin.
Mm-hmm.
Turin ends up fighting one of the dragons. And...
I think it's the fire that reminds me of the Balrog.
Right. Well, actually, you could even be dealing with Smaug, but none of the humans came in close proximity to Smaug like that.
No, only Bilbo.
And this is another view of the dragon. But yeah, this right here, Mom, you'll recognize. This was Brunhild.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually legend in the Saga of the Volsungs where the guy and his son turn into bears. I forget what happened.
Sounds like Baron.
Baron doesn't turn into bear.
What's the one? So one of them turned into a bear.
Oh, that's
Oh, I know what his name is.
Beor.
Beor.
Yeah,
Beor?
I think it's Beor.
Yeah.
And actually, that is I want to say it's an Old English name. Tolkien actually plucked that name right out of there. Heavens, half of his. I was listening to actually the guy who does the translation for this book has a really cool YouTube channel. And he ran through a bunch of the old dwarf names, and Gandalf's in there. Frodo's in there. Like, half of the names he chose, Tolkien just plucked them directly out of Norse lore and was
There's no
like,
reason not
he's
to.
like, I like these names. It was just really funny. Feely, Keely, like all the dwarves, he literally just took the dwarf names from Norse mythology. It was really funny, but yeah. So, and I also used my stamp, my shield stamp here. That's my star rating. I think next time I read it, I want to actually read it instead of listen to it because I think I would get more out of it. Some of these stories, yes, they were oral when they first would be passed on, but sometimes you're dealing with names, and especially when you're dealing with a family, like
right.
This is the family of the Volsungs. After a while, things just start blending. Now, they probably told these stories around the fire in the winter and passed them on. And they probably, like a lot of those oral stories did, they would grow and change. And I think that probably happened a lot with Norse like the story of stories like Thor and
right.
Odin and all that. They probably, I'm sure if you looked back, you'd have 20 versions of
right.
these stories. Okay, so then here's The Great and Terrible King. Now, these are all books from last year.
You're not going to go through all of them.
No, I have like 3. These are just the ones that I finished since that.
Yeah, because we have to get you lunch.
Yeah, I know. I'm almost. So there's that.
I didn't realize how long we had gone, and I looked at my watch, and it's almost 1 o'clock, and we haven't eaten lunch yet.
This is the Bible Illuminated.
Oh, that's pretty.
What's really cool is I actually follow. The book is put out by the Museum of the Bible, and I follow them on Instagram, and I tagged them, and they commented on the post, and they were like, "Oh, that's a work of art in itself." I was like, they responded. They're really nice.
Sounds like it. I want to go here. It's in DC, isn't it?
I actually am not sure where they are.
I think it's in DC somewhere.
Their book is really nice if you ever want to borrow it from me. And these aren't pictures directly from. I just looked up on online Illuminated Bible because I didn't feel like trying to scan all of them. And these are only a few of the pictures I can use because I read a lot about illuminated manuscripts, so I'll use the pictures.
Sure.
Then this is from the Columbo.
We both read this
book, and the book was actually called Just One More Thing, which is why I have several points where there's random pictures. Just one more thing. I love this. Columbo's Just One More Bite. And that's with him, a statue with him and his dog. I'm not sure where that's located.
It looks like a seal.
No, what happened was part of the picture, the dog got cropped a little bit. Because he had that, what was it, a basset?
I don't remember.
I have one of the books I have that I read for him. He actually is holding his dog. Well, I didn't grab any of the ones with him holding a dog here. He has a dog in the car there. But, yeah, apparently there are a couple episodes where his dog is a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
But
a basset sounds like a dog you'd have.
Here's him with some of his drawing stuff. Here's another. I made sure
he's quite an artist.
Yeah, and all the art that you see in the background is his art.
My husband was quite impressed by his art. He's not usually impressed.
So then I think this one I'm actively working on. So this is Painted Prayers, the Book of Hours in Medieval and Renaissance Art. I just had to write the review. What I like is the Painted Prayers. This is called the Black Hours. And what happened was they soaked the paper in black ink, and then they would write on it in gold. And here's just a really close-up version. There's a lot. I have a couple of these because I love the Black Hours. And then I took, and when I realized these were all the same size, I made it into a little book. So I had fun with that.
That's very cool.
I'm usually not quite that creative in my journaling.
I always told you were creative.
And it just occurred to me. I was like, oh, that's so much fun. I should do that. Finally, they're staying stuck together, the pages. Everyone's wanted to stick some glue in there to make it stay. Thankfully, I have the glue pens. But yeah, all I have left to do is to write the little review. And I'm so excited about... I'll have to do maybe a video part of as well as the pictures so that people can see that this book has all the different pages. It's a book within a book.
Very cool.
So, yes. And actually, I had used this in a different entry as an example of reusing pictures. I think I used this in the one about how the Irish saved civilization. So, yeah. Yeah, right there, same size. How the Irish saved civilization. I used it right there. But
Very
yes,
cool.
So close to the end of this book.
No, not too bad. Very cool.
But yeah. Only partway through last year. It takes a while. The next few entries are going to be with illuminated manuscripts, though, so I'll be able to reuse some of the pictures.
Do you have any stash enhancements?
Well, everything would be books. Oh, wait. Remember, Mom? Did you bring any of yours?
Yeah, they're right here.
Okay.
I'm not going to show all of them, but...
Yeah. Do you have anything, Arnie?
No, I don't think so.
You the book.
Yeah.
So let me.
Because I didn't give this to myself at Christmas. I kept
Yeah. I used all my Amazon cards. Yeah, because I don't necessarily need to show the socks of the Amazon cards. It was just really and the other things I had in here I already used, so they aren't still in here.
Yeah, I don't have my Adagio card here from.
Well, not even like I had other objects in here.
No, but you said your cards.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. So, Mom, you picked up for each of these for your blanket, and then you picked up one for me. So this is Yarn Love, and the base is Joe March DK. Colorway is Cottage Garden.
She actually asked me to review that for her, so I did.
It's really
It
pretty.
is. It's got some interesting, oh, here's speckles.
Yeah, just a nice little bit of variation there. And then there's this one. This is Chicken Lady Fiber Arts.
I
Love
love
in every
her.
stitch. And
I
I
love
have knit
her.
with her once for
I
a pair of
absolutely love
socks
her.
for Dad.
Yeah.
DK sock. And the colorway is Monster Mash. So that'll make a fun pair of socks.
She makes me happy. She's really cute. She's just,
And Dad, I don't know what made him think of getting this, but this was so much fun. He was so proud of himself, and he should have been. This bag is, I may appear to be sitting, but my body is running a marathon. And it's hashtag POTS awareness, which I thought was really sweet of him.
very cool.
And it's a nice canvasy bag. I should use it like when I go back and forth, you know.
Just make sure not to put too much heavy in there.
Yeah.
It's not a very heavy canvas bag, but it is a good bag.
Yeah. I could probably, if I really was
You wanna
running
show
it
the other
low
thing?
on. Well, do you have anything else to show before I do mine?
I have a lot of stuff. But
Oh,
I'm not going
okay.
to show all of it, but this is I actually picked this up at Michael's, and I said, you know, it's a little. Sometimes these books can be expensive, so I told Mike to give it to me for my Christmas. And this has got some really. This has a way of steeking crochet.
You know, I keep saying I'm going to steek. I have a feeling it's not going to happen.
This is like. It has color work. Look at, you know, the swatches of color work. You can see all the different.
I have knit dictionaries like that for color work. I have a couple.
I have a knit one, I'm sure, but
Well, you might
crochet.
you might have a stitch one, but you might not have a color work one because this is a color work one.
No, this is crochet.
Crochet color work.
Yeah,
one.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
My point is that you might have a knit one with stitches, but maybe not a knit color work.
No,
one.
I do. I did have one. I don't know if I still have
I was
it.
going to say I'm kind of surprised because you've never knit color work.
I know that Daddy got me the Arn and
Arn Carlos.
Carlos.
Birds. I'm kind of surprised he got you. I need to, if you're not going to use it, I probably need to poach that and make some birds.
You'd have to see if I still have it. It might be upstairs in my go away box.
Because I've knit several of their ornaments, and maybe before you decide to pass that along, maybe I should make some birds from it. They have good patterns. They got me started on my ornament journey.
The good thing about this is that even though it's crocheted, it's got patterns with this stuff in, and it looks like it's knitted. It's
Yeah.
probably heavier, but it looks
And
like
you have to
that.
see like what kind of crochet it is. Make sure it's not Tunisian or something.
It doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem to be.
Actually, it looks like it might be single crochet.
Mhm.
But
That's really pretty. I like that.
so there's that, and then I'll show my last one, and then let Mom just completely go. This is, Dad was super proud of this one as well. This is just a nice huggy pillow. It says, I was given this life because I'm strong enough to live it. POTS awareness. So I thought this was really sweet and cool, and they're buddy things, the pillow and the bag. And if I trim it really close, I might trim the tag, but I don't
You'll
want.
get arrested. They used to say you get arrested if you remove that.
Oh, really? But I will do it really close because I don't want it.
Just make sure you don't cut it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'll cut it, but I'll probably leave like a good little distance there. I just don't necessarily want the whole tag flapping around. But sometimes I'll just, if I'm tired, I might hold this. So, just because I can have the illusion of it giving me warmth as well.
Right. Most of what I got was books, so I'm not going to show you the books. Some of them are religious. Some of them are not religious.
And any books that I got, which I got quite a few, that's what my booktube's for.
Taya and I got a couple of sets. Well, the little woman is an omnibus,
Yeah.
and then we got
Ariane says that she kind of wants the one for Bronte's. I think she said she put
the
it
one
on
for
her.
Bronte's. Yeah, and we got Austin.
Also, we got Little Women.
Well,
Someone
that's what I was saying. Little Women. omnibus.
Okay, yeah. I didn't hear you say Little Women. I just heard you say omnibus. One of the people said they really liked the Little Women omnibus too.
Oh, good. But anyway, I have a whole bunch of books. Some are here, some already put away. I just
Mine are all put away because I showed them. I already did my Christmas book hauls video for the ones that arrived because I had gift cards, so mine are still trickling in.
Now, I'm not sure if I showed you. I think I showed you this stamp already.
You might have
this one here.
Pooh Time one. No, it's a Pooh Heart one.
I showed you. I used this one to make a thank you
because that was your St. Nicholas one.
Right.
That was my excuse.
I remember. This is I used this one already. You can see the ink on the side there to make a thank you note. And
that was Christmas.
This was a new one from Talia.
Now, I've actually had these for probably close to a year. I just haven't gotten around to giving these.
I picked this up at Michael's, and the stamp here. This stamp is really liquidy,
which is annoying.
And I got this. It's kind of like a powder puff, and you can put it on the stamp. I should have picked up more of these because I think I can use it as a background around my.
Oh, okay. Is it kind of like a decorative
for the journals? Yeah, or for the cards. Now the card itself.
Oh, I remember you saying you were kind of disappointed.
I was disappointed. I needed the size because what I wanted to put on it, and the card I didn't expect this, and maybe I should look closer. But here's the card, and it doesn't open like here. It opens.
Oh, I didn't understand what you meant when you said that. Oh, that's annoying.
So
that looks like what it looks like is like one of those old-fashioned ones where they would seal it.
Well, I'm thinking about for the card I want to do now is having a picture here and then taking either a sharp blade and just cutting it here so it opens up like that, and then having thank you or whatever.
One of the other things you can do is you can do a stamp.
Oh, I did that. This is what I did a stamp on. I did, like, you see them sometimes in shops where they have, like, it looks kind of like film. And I just did 3 of them, and then I colored only the heart.
Yeah, I've done that before.
And so, and that was a thank you note for somebody. But it was kind of a disappointment because it wasn't what I expected, and it kind of constrains me. But now maybe it'll just make a chance to be a little more creative. I have a whole bunch of stamps that Talia gave me for Christmas. I'm not going to open them, but you can see there's no glare, I don't think.
You're a little high. There we go.
So my Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I've had those for a while. These are old Winnie the Pooh. These are letter writing Winnie the Pooh. This writing business, pencils and whatnot, overrated if you ask me. And that's a Eeyore.
Yeah, of course.
Pooh Mail. It's a fake stamp. From with a Pooh bottom. Then Pooh writing. My spelling is wobbly. It's good spelling, but it wobbles and the letters get in the wrong places. Then Eeyore. Some people write letters to some people and some don't. I'm not complaining, but there it is. To be. And then Pooh's front end says two. So these were really cute.
And this one's
I think these came from the same person.
This is really nice too.
These don't have any words.
They don't have any words. But you see Christopher Robin and Pooh kind of walks up in the sunset or sunrise, and then you've got Christopher Robin and Pooh, and I can't see who else kind of at a picnic. I can't really see some of the other ones because they're too small in the reverse. Eeyore is
okay. So picnic is Pooh,
Piglet,
and Christopher Robin.
And then you've got
Christopher Robin and Pooh in the umbrella.
Yeah.
And then you have Eeyore kind of floating.
He looks like he's dead.
He does look like he's dead. Then you have
Piglet. I think it's Piglet.
That is Piglet.
Piglet, Pooh.
They're trying to get tickets.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Piglet, Pooh, Kanga with Roo in the pouch.
I didn't recognize Kanga in the old style drawing. And then you have Pooh and Piglet walking away. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do love Winnie the Pooh.
Well, you have a particular fondness for old Winnie the Pooh. You like new as well, but I think all of these stamps are old Winnie the Pooh. I tend to try to get you old Winnie the Pooh.
They're vintage.
They're vintage. Yeah.
He's very proud. Yes, that was a reference. We haven't done that in a while.
No, we haven't.
That was a reference from the Avengers.
Oh, yes. Talking about the Captain America cards.
Trading cards, yeah.
Yes. Black Widow.
Because Black Widow's talking to Steve she and Steve and Banner are on the aircraft carrier talking, and somehow she says
they're talking about Coulson, and she asked if Coulson had asked Steve
to sign his
cards.
His vintage cards. He said, "That's a thing." He said, "Oh yes, the vintage."
She had his Captain America trading cards, and he's like, "That's a thing. They're vintage." He's very proud.
Yes, we know way too much about that movie, but
it's like you almost had to do it in the right order because of her, the way she had her inflection. And everything.
You have, if you want to get the full effect, you need to go look at that scene because it's
really in the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, the first Avengers when they're gathering all the Avengers.
Yeah,
together.
you don't yet have Tony on board yet.
Well, he's downstairs.
That's right. Yeah. Right. They haven't met Tony yet.
Yeah, they haven't met Tony. They haven't met Thor yet.
Yeah.
So, and in fact, Hawkeye hasn't been met yet. So that's all I have to say about that. That's my.
Well, they haven't met Loki yet. None of the heroes have.
No, not well. They have because
Cap hasn't met.
oh, right, that's
Tony
later.
yet.
That's right. That's later. Yeah, that's later. Okay. Okay, so that takes care of that. Do we have anything else?
No,
Okay.
we don't.
All right.
So you guys got a little bit of a longer one, although actually this is about our normal,
and
especially for post Christmas.
I'm sorry it's so
all over the place,
disjointed because, like I said, just things. Hopefully next month will be a little more.
We also have weather, which is kind of making us both a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit spaced out. For lack of a better term, fogged out. We hope you all had a very blessed Christmas and New Year, and that 2025 is starting off real well for you. We want to thank the people who commented either on the website, our PHN website, or on YouTube. And I didn't answer anybody this time. I just liked everything.
I think I got everybody this time.
I think I answered on PHN.
I think I got everyone on YouTube this time, but I feel like I did. I can't remember. It's too long ago.
We really appreciate all the kind words.
I'm pretty sure I got everyone.
You did. There were only 3 this time.
I've done better keeping up on PHN than I have on my BookTube comments.
So we want to don't stop commenting.
No. I am trying to keep up.
We do want to keep up with it. But we do want to thank Brittany and Paula and Meditative Crafter and Sensiday and Rena. Thank you for taking the time to comment. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I just didn't see you before the podcast.
There hasn't been anyone recently because I get notified.
And we want to thank you for being patient with us.
Yes.
And we hope that you have a wonderful, blessed week full of knitting, crocheting, paper crafts, whatever it is that makes you happy. And we hope to see you here next month for the Fun in the Woman Cave. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast episode, and I will tell you in just a second. 613, and that's a wrap.
Bye.